today's menu I have Königsberger Klopse. I will show you how to cook it. Königsberger Klopse are a sort of meatball in a white sauce, and they're usually eaten with potatoes or rice as a side. I will start with the meat, and I have 200 grams of ground beef here, and I also have 250 grams of pork, grounded pork meat. And in Germany you can buy this already mixed as a mixed meat, and here I had to grind my pork myself. I have a grinder. You can also go to your butcher and ask him to do that for you. I used the shoulder meat of the pork, and yeah, I just grind it in my KitchenAid. I have one of these attachments for it. So it's very fresh, and yeah, so I just mix it a little bit so it's, oops, where are you going? Okay, so my ingredients today are eggs, well, and I take 3 of them. And I mix the eggs a little bit, makes it easier to incorporate it in a little bit. Alright, I also add about 2 to 3 teaspoons of mustard. I add a cup of parsley. And I have some onions here, and I brown them in some butter. It's a small onion that I'm using. And I also have some bread that I soaked in water, and then I removed the water and I put this in here. It might not be enough. I might need to also use some breadcrumbs. If you don't have like an old bread to use for this, you can just use entirely breadcrumbs. That'll be fine. And now I mix this all together. Okay, and I add salt and some ground pepper. And I could also incorporate some capers now. I will not do that at this point because my husband really doesn't like them, so I will leave them out of his meatball and just use it for the other meatballs. Yeah, and it is very wet, so I will have to add a little more of these breadcrumbs, because I do not want this to fall apart once it goes into the water. So these meatballs are boiled and later added to the sauce. They're not fried. Yeah, that looks better. So I can start to mix it with my hands. So, and now I will make 2 meatballs for my husband. And I try to really press this together so it's firm. And this has about the size of a small snowball or something. So this is about the size it should have. If it's bigger, it needs to boil or cook a little longer. So, but this is a very regular size. And I put it aside. And I'll make another one. Okay, and for the rest I will add some capers now, not too much, and mix it into the meat mix here, trying to have it evenly in the mix. Oops. And I don't, as a child I didn't like any capers. I think that's kind of normal, but meanwhile I think they taste like baby cucumbers. So here are the next meatballs. Okay, so I will put this a little bit separate so I know which one are without the capers, and in my next step I will boil them now. So I prepared some water, slightly salted, with 4 bay leaves, and you can see it's almost boiling, and I will turn the heat down now, so I don't want it to boil very strong, just a little bit. And to tell these meatballs without the capers apart from the other ones, I put a toothstick into it. So same here. And I put them in this water. And as I said, it doesn't necessarily have to boil, it just has to be on the verge of boiling. Put them all in here. This will need about 20 minutes until they are done. And in the meantime, while this is happening, I will prepare my roes. Now for the roe, I'm melting 20 grams of butter. Let it get warm, not browning though. I can get a little warmer. Let me wait just a little longer. You can see it's bubbling slightly, but I want it to be a little hotter than that. Just make sure that you don't let the butter get brown though. Okay, that seems about right. And I will now add the flour. There. I can see that this is mixing well. Okay. And I will add some white wine, 150 milliliters of white wine. And at this point I want to switch my tools and just and a little more. I will let it get hot a little bit. Here we go. And now I add the milk. It's also 150 milliliters of milk. And now I will steal some of the broth from here. It's not really broth, but you know what I mean. Okay. And I mix it and bring it back to a boil. I allowed this to cook now for a while so that the alcohol from the wine gets out there, and you see it's a lot less sauce than before, which means we have to add some more from our meatball water. And I'll add, oops, making a mess here. I'll add just some more. Okay. Right. So, and I haven't added any spices or anything so far, which means it will taste pretty bland. So I will now add salt to it and some white pepper. Okay, and I will taste it. Yeah, it goes in the right direction, but it needs more salt. Yeah, just a little more, and I think it's on point. And I will turn this down a little bit. So now the sauce is kind of waiting for the meatballs to be ready to be added to the sauce. And here you can see I already prepared some potatoes for the side, and the meatballs are also still work in progress.